really sweet little rasps. So you might find this a good friend for that job.
Oh yeah.
But I'm more, this is faster. But this guy's great. These are great little rasps.
Mm-hmm.
They cut fast also. So you might
Do you
find
need
that.
to sand more with this rasp later?
Well, yeah,
A little bit.
but anyway, you have to sand whether this rasp or that rasp. And I'm going to switch to the fine rasp, this one.
Okay.
When?
Well, when this looks pretty good, it's getting there. I'll do the whole neck with the fine rasp, the heel too. But I'm going to, this heel is nowhere near done. I have to go around here, right?
Yeah. Getting to a point.
I don't want to get, no, I don't, I keep it kind of round, but some people do a point. That's your own style, whatever you want to do. But I'll definitely take it in, and then I'll finish it up with the round end of this block. Now, you can't carve with sandpaper, by the way, and don't try. You have to, you can if it's supported with something hard, like a block like this.
Okay.
So then you can actually carve and change contours. But with just loose sandpaper, you're just going to make a mess. You know, it'll ride whatever contour is there. But if you back it up with something hard, then you can carve with it. So get most of your carving done with the rasp, but you can do final touch-up with this block and with some of the other round blocks, like this, for instance, or this. Just look around your own workstation and around the shop. You can use this in here, or this, if it's the right contour, right? But straight sandpaper you can't carve with. So you do most of it with the rasp, that's faster. And then you can do final tweaking with the sandpaper. So I'm not going to do much more on the heel because you'll figure that out. But just as long as you're aware of these blocks and that it could be a really good friend to help you carve the heel. Where did I get these? This is from your bench.
This is from my bench.
Okay, so now I want to connect these two points that I've established, and I do recommend you do that. If you're nervous about getting, you should aim to get that at 21.5 and 24.5 anyway. If you don't dare to do it on the sander, then do it with a rasp before you start carving, because it's going to save you time. I've had so many people, they've got the whole neck carved, and it's beautiful, and it's really nice, and this is 22.5, and that's 26.
Too high.
So then, meanwhile, their neck looks perfect, but they've got to go and recarve the whole entire thing and bring it down 1.5 millimeters.
Yeah.
So, you may as well have those final measurements there before you do that final carving. So, I can get one of these little straight edges. There's a number of them here. And what I want to do now is connect these 2 points. Now, as you can see, this straight edge is rocking. I just want to take it back a little bit further here. And before I even start, I'll make the neck a little bit rounder. You'll see why in a minute. It's still going to play a bit round. Even by hand, it doesn't take long to carve a neck. When I worked with Larva, this is what he did just by hand, but like I said, he had it down to 15 minutes. Done. Well, ready for sanding. Then he'd pass the neck over to me and I'd have to sand it. And actually the sanding, from carving it all nice and pretty close to all the contours good. After that, the sanding takes about as long again, or longer. Okay, now I'm round enough that I can do this.
If I want to make more V neck, I have to just
Yeah,
angle
but be
more
careful.
these.
Don't go too steeply into the edges. It's kind of in this area. You still want to be almost square when you're hitting the fingerboard. It shouldn't hit the fingerboard at much angle.
Okay, yeah, sure.
The V part is in here, but hitting the
Here I
fingerboard
have
still
to
pretty
connect with
pretty
the-
close to square.
Okay.
Yeah. I used to make quite a few V-necks. My dealer in Japan wanted the so-called Martin modified V-neck. That's what they called it.
I
So
feel
maybe-
more comfortable when I play.
Yeah. Now I haven't had any orders for V-necks for about 3 years. I don't make so many. Okay, connecting these points. So here, I have a high spot here, so I can rasp that a little bit, not too much, because the rasp is pretty rough. Still high here. That's not bad. I'll go with the fine rasp. It's pretty close, so it's okay. So now I can take some 80 grit paper, and at most of the workstations there's a block like this that takes a half sheet of sandpaper. So now I can go with that. And this is why I wanted the neck a little bit round. I could do this with that part of the neck still flat, but that's a lot more work sanding that big flat area than sanding this small flat area. So I can sand this, and I keep the curve going a bit, but normally I just want to sand. Let's see how I'm doing. So that's just about running straight. I can do a little bit more, but I want to go a little bit further here. Now I'm probably going to erase these pencil marks by the time I'm done, but I'll put them back. Okay, I've touched the pencil marks on both ends, but they're still there a little bit. This is nice and straight. So now I can carve to that. Just bring everything nice and round to that point. And if you want to be safe, put a whole pencil mark in the middle that you leave it alone. Because that's my final measurement now. Until fine sanding, it can maybe get a little bit thinner, but not much. Okay, so now I can just continue carving, finishing up. There's one other thing, but I'm not ready for this step. And you don't have to keep watching me to get to it. Once I get it pretty round, I'm going to take some paper like this, protected with masking tape, and shoe polishing will help me get a nice round contour. But on the V-neck, you have to kind of go like this and like this.
Cool.
But be careful, you can screw up a neck pretty quickly with this too. It's not a guarantee that you're going to get a nice, you still got to keep checking and be careful.
It's a stupid question, but how do you know when you're done?
Well, when it feels like a
Yeah,
nice
it feels-
proper guitar neck to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're a player,
You just
yeah.
Feel it out.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
And when
There's
it
no
looks
more
like-
wood that doesn't look like a
When
guitar
it
neck.
looks like a guitar neck and when it feels like
I
a
could
guitar
play
neck.
that.
Oh, sure,
Sure.
sure, but you would find it a bit too flat. Most people
Yeah.
would anyway. Some people like flat neck,
Yeah.
flat in the middle.
Yeah,
In the classical world, some people still like that, but most people like the necks pretty much
I like
round.
it quite flat.
Well, that's what you should do with your neck then. It's your guitar.
Sure.
But you can keep feeling it.
Yeah.
You know, you have to take it off this so you can really get the feel of it. Okay,
Okay.
it's a fun job.
Okay.
So you can go ahead and do